What's he saying, Jose?
I think he's saying that he goes home, which is what we all do
at the end of the
after
season.
winning matches, losing matches. That's what we all do. But I think probably he's having a similar feeling that I had, for example, in Porto, when in an unexpected way you do something incredible, almost impossible to repeat, and when you are in a moment of your career where you have, desire to do other things, maybe saying that being European champion with Spurs, and then I go home and then I wait for a different project. I don't know.
Do you think if he were to win the Champions League, he would leave Tottenham?
No, I would tell him for not to do it, because it's something that I regret is that I never played a club's world. Can be lots of work to do in a club and many other things to play for, and to stay with a group of players that you love, that you are loved in a club where you are giving the best conditions to do it, the best support possible to do it. So I don't think he has to leave if he wins the Champions League.
And you have to think about where he could go. What options does he have? Because, of course, if you look at bigger clubs, bigger jobs, Tottenham have got a new stadium. They are a big club. It's a question of what. And was this interview after the Barcelona result or before?
About the same time, actually.
Right,
but he's not going to go to Barcelona, is he?
No, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the options. I think it was a bit tongue-in-cheek. I'd be surprised if, yeah. I mean, you can never tell. But once again, it depends on the options.
But is there anything more he could do at Spurs, having won a Champions League?
I always say that until now his work in Spurs is fantastic, but he needs at least to win something. You cannot consider an amazing job if you are in a club 4 or 5 years, a good club with fantastic players. Everybody speaks about the money they didn't spend, but I prefer also to say that the best thing a club can do is not to buy, is not to sell the top ones that you have, and they don't sell, or they are not selling in the past 2 or 3 years. So I think he has to win a trophy, even if it is the how do you call now, the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
But if instead of the Carabao Cup you win the Champions League, come on, that's absolutely fantastic for the football club and for Mauricio's career.
Rudy's helped by having Son Heung-min in tonight in his side. What difference?
The thing is, he runs a lot, he works a lot. He's very technical, pace. He goes past players, and that is something that they didn't have before that. They give long balls, they tried long balls in the second half, but you need penetration, you need players who go behind the defense. And he's a quality player. And every time that Kane was injured, he stood up, he scored the goals.
He
won a lot of matches without Kane. I think that is also a bad thing that they miss him, Kane. But missing Son as well, that was hard for them. I think it will be tonight a different game than it was because I think that they saw Willem II in the Cup in Holland doing a little bit what Jose did to Ajax in the UEFA Cup final.
With different potential.
Different potential, yes, but try to do a long ball, keep the ball and try, and Ajax had difficulties with that. So therefore, I think that, of course, with Son they have more possibilities than only that. And so therefore, I was critical about Dele Alli and Wanyama.
You were hugely critical about those two.
So they have to step up today. I want to see, because I see them every week, and I see them playing well, doing things, play for the national team as well. So I want to see more of these guys today. Not as much, because I want Ajax to win, of course.
If you think about the way Tottenham play, when you got Harry Kane and behind him you have Son, Dele Alli and Eriksen, because Kane brings him into play, he holds the ball up, he's a focal point. When you have Son up there, Son runs more, but I don't think you get as much from the midfield coming forward to link up play. And of course with Lucas Moura, he always does well individually because he dribbles a lot, but I don't think the fluidity and the cohesion of the team works when Lucas Moura is in there. So Kane for me is a big loss. Son is much more mobile up front than Lucas Moura, for example, but I think Harry Kane gives him that focal point, and Son coming from deep, Dele Alli from deep, and Eriksen from deep with Kane is perfect. Son will look to get beyond, but I don't think that this... Listen, Lucas Moura, Son, they're all great players, but I think they will now rely on individuals to win them the game rather than the way they play as a team.
What about protectively? When Sissoko came on, Jose, they were a better side, but they changed the shape. But what does Sissoko bring to that midfield?
No, I don't think it was Sissoko. I think it was not about Sissoko. I think it was about one less player in the back three and one more player in midfield. I think was more about that. I agree totally. With what they are saying about what Kane means and what Son can do, and I from the center to the sides, you will bring Delete and you will bring Blind to these positions. I think Dele Alli has to be more a second striker than a midfield player. They need to put people in these positions. And if I am Delete or Blind playing against Son, I think I drop back 5 meters and I don't close the line so much up. I'm not so comfortable to press up, and probably the Ajax defensive transition, which they are very strong when they lose the ball, pressing immediately in attacking areas on the last third. I think with Son, they have to think how far they go on this pressure and bringing the line up. So to play without Kane is a problem. To play without Kane and Son is a big problem. And today they have Son.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just a huge boost for them. Ajax will just try to play the same strategy. I think that Tottenham will try to play with a diamond shape in midfield, because then you have one spare man, in midfield. You have more men. They want to also try to get De Jong and Schöne out of play. If you have a diamond, you have more people, then that has become difficult. One will take an eye, especially on Donny van de Beek, because Donny van de Beek is that role that you want Dele Alli to play. He's all the time behind that striker. When Tadic comes out, he goes in there, and they found the space all the time. It's going to be an interesting game.
Very interesting.
Two teams that want to play football. Ajax loves to play against a team that wants to play football as well, because then you have more space. So let's see who's going to win the battle in midfield, because this is where it's all about, this one.
We shall see. That is all to come as we build up to kick-off in Amsterdam. It is Ajax and Tottenham for the right to play in the Champions League final on June the 1st. It is Ajax, the young Ajax side that has surprised everyone and scored so many goals against the big sides.
Mazraoui! It's beautiful to watch. Van de Beek, Dusan Tadic. Oh, what a goal! It's sensational! Third goal before the final whistle. Goldberg waits in the centre, and there is a third goal. And it swings. Oh, he scored! Unbelievable!
The Copa Libertadores. tomorrow. Live and exclusive. On beIN